question everything. For the truth shall not be televised, and that's for sure. So with that, you got Dr. Yosef Salam, the councilman out there in New York who was pulled over by NYPD. And, you know, out there they want to push a bill for transparency and, pulling cars over in unlawful arrest. They want them to start documenting, their traffic citations when it comes to pulling people over. And for they can sort of track who and why they're, pulling these different cars over to see if, any transparency is involved in the sense of, honest and upright street stops based off of actual crime and not actual ethnic. In other words, racial profiling. So the councilman was pulled over, and it just so happened to be, and as soon as he said I was Councilman Yosef Salam, they no problem here. You have a great day. Turned around and went to walking away. And he is asking them, well, why y'all pull me over? What was the reason for y'all to pull me over? If there was something done unlawfully, then you have the right to pull me over. But they ain't had nothing to say. Then the police chief or whoever that is gonna come out and say, well, they pulled him over because his tents was too dark with a Georgia plate. See these games we play? And it's illegal to have that type of tent it went to. So why they ain't tell him that when he asked them about why they pulled him over? Why they just turned around and walked away? Crime is crime no matter who you is, right? See, and transparency is the basis of, being truthful and open. And this is what they want these cops to be able to write down what they've been doing out there on them streets when it comes to our people and the nations around us, and if they're really racially profiling our people and locking our people up and chastising our people and pretty much slave patrolling our people like they have done and been doing ever since they pretty much got here. Ain't nothing stopped, but we want to keep pretending like they have because they telling us it has. But we're living it, because I know I'm living it. I know I'm living it. I don't want nothing to do with them because I know how they get down. Straight up, it's nothing. It got nothing to do with breaking no laws or nothing. They see you, and then automatically they go on the defense on some old real crazy slave patrol type tactics against you, and you can't say nothing. You can't move no certain way. You can't do nothing. You just hoping that you can get out of the situation with you still breathing pretty much. I don't care what nobody say. That's just real 100. I've been living it since I got gray hairs on this planet. It's the truth. You know what I mean? So with that stated, it's the same thing going on out there down south, Louisiana, and all them other places when it comes to how they're using the prison labor. And that's what that picture I just showed you, and how all these different companies are using prison labor. And the majority of people that's in the prisons is our people, which is no different from the chain gang back in the day, or how they were setting us up back in the day to put us in prison right after we sort of came out of being enslaved, really POWs. They makeshift this new way, and all of a sudden now we getting locked up on all levels for whatever the colonizers say, and thrown into chain gangs where we out there building train tracks and building railroads and everything else that they made us build. And it's the same thing going on today. But, quiet is kept. Long as their media don't show it on their news and they don't promote it, then you don't know nothing about it. So, therefore, I guess it ain't happening. Same thing like our history and everything else that they took from us. As long as they don't show us, they don't promote it, and they don't teach it, then I guess it ain't never happened, huh? These are the games that these people play. It's called blood games, you ask me, where they're just very destructive and devious and destroying the people openly without the people even knowing they're being destroyed. These are that reality. So yeah, when you look at New York and the unlawful stops, stop and frisk and everything else that our people is going through, you can understand why we in the boat we in. First, you come through, you destroy our communities, you bring race riots to our communities, you massacre our people literally throughout history, genocide, Holocaust our people throughout history, you destroy our businesses, burn them down, and then in turn put us in a position of total poverty because when we came out of, slavery as POWs pretty much on our own land, Aboriginal Negroes, we came out with nothing because they didn't give us reparations, they didn't give us nothing, so we had to pull ourselves up by our skin because we ain't had no boots or any straps to be able to pull up on because we was coming out dirt poor, and a lot of us couldn't even get off the plantation because we couldn't afford the indentured servitude they entrapped us into to get off. So when we finally started to make any type of airwaves, any type of movements, they came and destroyed everything that we was doing. Some of them like Black Wall Street and others you don't even know about because they put whole lakes and rivers over and ran train tracks and railroads and everything else through it. So you don't even really know some of the stuff that they have done, But in turn, here we are today, and we back into the same position where we're being profiled to be put back into these prisons based off of being impoverished, living in ghetto slums and hoods, trying to do survival work that they set us up to be locked in based off of lack of resources and bare minimum resources coming to our community done on purpose. That's why you've seen how they caught these appointed representatives from the Latino community out there in California talking about how they was going to revert the resources from the Negroes to their communities. Literally, that's going on because they got busted talking about it amongst themselves. So with that stated, we in this boat because it's systematically plotted for us to be in this boat. You don't gotta like it, you don't gotta accept it, but truth is truth. That is the reality to it. And this is why we are mass incarcerated more than any nation in the whole entire world. That's just what it is. It ain't by accident. You don't have the people that came to destroy you, police you, govern you, look over for your when it comes to your health, look over you when it comes to your food and your nutrition, because you're going to get the worst of everything. Why? Because they came to destroy you. Ain't that's what the history says? Ain't that's what the history says coming into the future, coming into right now? And somehow your mind, you feel like you done got liberated. Liberated to what? Because liberation is separation from the people that came to destroy you. That's true liberation, true freedom. Not emancipation, a proclamation that you under, where you still get crushed systematically. Remember, they said they found that the pen is mightier than the sword. So I can write your destruction. I can write your destruction. Literally, let's say it again, write your destruction, and you won't never ever understand it. And these are the things that we're going through, to where now we're systematically being crushed by the pen, and we don't get it. Just because you see chucking and jiving and cooning house brothers and sisters getting a bag based off of their massa giving them a bag and then selling y'all a pipe dream, the American dream, a pipe dream, one of the biggest lies on the planet, other than the other stuff that we under right now, that we are equal here. This ain't no equal reality. You can't start a race 400 to 600 years behind of people who got everything for free, took everything by the sword, and then turn around and say it's equal. How is that? Let me put your ass in the back of the race and then you race me and see if you're going to beat me. That's the reality to that. And it wasn't no relay race because we don't got no other allies that's willing to take the buck to help us get up and get ahead and get from up under this destruction that we are under. So we definitely ain't in no relay race. We definitely have no allies. So with that, you got to understand these things that are being done with slave patrol, these things that are being done through the tactics of what being utilized against us through stop and frisk and racial profiling. This is all done on purpose. Been done on purpose. Been done since they got here. You wouldn't have black facing back in the day, and still to this day, if it's not done on purpose. The key is when you want to accept it, acknowledge it, and then make a change. For liberation, reparations is liberation. Liberations is reparations with land,